I made a video back in February of 2008 entitled "The Plane Flies," and I've gotten, I guess, close to 2,000 views, whatever. A few comments here and there, and I still get them occasionally. I got this one from Tail Dark Side, and I go to his profile after he's throwing out these credentials on how he has a bachelor's in science, as he writes, and he's a pilot and all this. So I go to his profile to read up on him, and wouldn't you know, he doesn't have any videos. I hate when people do this. If you're gonna debate me or whatever, and you're gonna throw out these facts about yourself, and your grammar sucks really hard. If you're a native English speaker, man, dude, how did you get a freaking degree? That's what I would like to know. But the puzzle itself. Now, for those that don't know, basically it's, will a plane take off on a treadmill? And what gets people stumped on this, and if it was simple, if it was really simple to understand, it would never have become a puzzle or a brain teaser or whatever. What gets people stumped on this is they envision the treadmill keeping the plane from moving forward. But that's not what would happen. For those that understand how airplanes work, like me, and not this pilot, it's funny that he's a pilot, so he automatically thinks he has to know how the planes work. You have to know some degree of how they work, just like you have to know how a car works. You turn the wheel to the right and it goes to the right. You turn to the left and it goes to the left. You push the brake and it stops and all that good stuff. But that doesn't mean you really understand the mechanics of the vehicle. Just like Tail Darkside doesn't understand the mechanics of the airplane, apparently. Because he, like most of the people that are stumped on it, use their simple way of thinking and think that the treadmill is going to keep it from moving forward, and it's not going to happen. What's going to happen is the plane, because of, and I'm going to use a propeller airplane in this example. The propellers pull the air and cause the plane to move forward, just like the treadmill was standing still. It's not going to really affect it at all, minus the little minuscule friction that the bearings, the wheels would cause. It's going to overcome that with no problem at all, and the plane is going to move forward, just like I said, just like the thing was standing still. You could move the treadmill in either direction, forward, backward, leave it still. It's not really going to affect the plane at all outside of that little friction that I mentioned from the bearings of the wheels. And because the wheels don't grip the road, there is no, when an airplane moves forward, even when it's taxiing, it doesn't use the wheels to move forward. It uses the propeller. The propeller is what is pulling the air through to cause forward thrust. And the wheels are just free moving. They're not hooked up to any sort of transmission, or they're not hooked up to the engine. So the plane doesn't power itself through the wheels, which is why when the treadmill's moving, I don't care if it's moving 5 times faster than the plane is going to eventually move, it's not going to cause the plane to stand still. So if the question is, can an airplane take off if it's not moving forward, the answer would be no. But that's not what would happen in this case. See, the treadmill would move, would have little to no effect at all on the plane, and the plane would push against the air just like it would normally. Now, another thing that I'd like to point out is Tail Darkside says that the whole point of, I'm going to read this. It says, "I'm a pilot. I have a bachelor's in science. The whole point of airplane on a treadmill is because Mythbusters brought it up." But no, dude, just you don't understand Mythbusters either. The whole point of the airplane on a treadmill isn't because Mythbusters brought it up. The whole point of Mythbusters is because somebody else brought up the puzzles. See, there has to be a myth in order for them to try to bust it. So you got these whole things, you got everything backwards. You know, this isn't a chicken and egg thing. The myths came before Mythbusters. So I made this video, I think, before this episode of Mythbusters ever aired. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure it did. Because when I was talking about this with friends, and I've heard this way before, this ever actually aired, we were talking about, hey, you know, MythBusters is going to do an episode on this. And I watched the episode. I don't remember the part of the treadmill or whatever, but at the end of the video, you could see it on YouTube here even. You could see that the freaking stupid pilot that they got, he didn't think the plane was going to take off either on the runway. When they pulled the tarp underneath him, he obviously is a pilot because we saw him take off. He didn't understand it either. But the plane did take off, didn't it? Now, if they had it on a treadmill in the shop or whatever and it didn't take off, it's because they probably had something that the wheels were powered somehow. I don't know. I didn't see that. But the bottom line is, MythBusters itself busted the myth, and the plane took off. So, anyway, I'd like to see you reply with a video if you could and tell me exactly why it is that I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong. So you can't do that. Anyway, have a good day.